Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking to Susan Rahman about her various activities, but more so, and much more so, about accountancy. Anyway, business is not just the thing that we do. We also do a lot of other things for the community. So she has been working for the community on various projects, helping business women particularly. I read somewhere that you're also you're keen about cooking, baking, and feeding.
Yes.
We'll come to that later, towards the end of the program. But in your free time, you are, as we were talking about Athena, you are also a treasurer at Abadwa School, isn't it?
At Nonsuch and
At Nonsuch.
Wellington Educational
Yes,
Trust.
see. Nonsuch Educational and Wellington Education Trust. See. You are chairperson or a financial
I'm
director or something?
I'm the chairperson of the finance committee.
Right, see. This is a very famous school, and I'm always amused by the name Nonsuch. Could you throw some light on that?
Well, Nonsuch actually, the name
It's in
came.
Sutton.
It's in
South
Cheam,
London.
yes, Cheam, yes, that's right. It came from the palace that Henry VIII built for Anne Boleyn. He wanted to show his love by building a palace that was
Taj Mahal.
like a Taj Mahal, he wanted to do it to compete with Versailles. And so he wanted to build a palace that there was none such palace in the entire world.
Right.
So that's where the name came from.
The name is stuck.
The name starts, hopefully, Nonsuch Education
Yeah.
for girls.
And Nonsuch a school.
Yes.
It has always remained a girls' school.
It's a
isn't
girls'
it?
school,
See.
yes.
So what does this trust involve?
Basically, the trust involves managing the budget, managing the spend, using the finances to develop the educational outcomes
Yes.
for the girls.
But this is a fee-paying school, isn't
No,
it?
it's
It's a free school.
it's a government
School,
grant
and
school.
people have to compete to get into,
Yes,
isn't it?
that's right.
So it's not for the upper class snobs.
No.
And you have been associated with this charity. Or would this be charity? Just a trust, isn't it?
It is schools are at. This is a charitable school, but yes, yeah, I've been associated with. Well, I was at school at Nonsuch when I was 18.
Right.
My daughter's at Nonsuch. My sisters were at Nonsuch, and I live in Cheam, so it's only fitting that I would actually give something back to the school.
Right.
To
See.
help me get where I am today.
Right. It's a shame that they don't accept boys. Otherwise, your son would be there too. He won't like this
Well,
joke now.
he didn't want to wear a skirt.
None of us do we? You are also a co-founder of a new online business,
Yes.
which is ONKHO, Onco.
Onco.
Yes. What's it?
So Onco was set up by myself and my husband 2 years ago. Again, basically serving people who are not serviced at all, so the small business accountant. We discovered that the small business accountant is the most neglected person in the entire business community. So we found and developed a piece of software that will help a small accountant manage their practice better. And we called it Onco because we're both from Bangladesh. We both love Bangladesh. And we wanted something...
This is Onco.
Onco.
Yes. I thought that because with this H there, so I thought Onco. Probably I thought that this is an abbreviation for something.
No, Onco means mathematics.
Onco, maths, yes.
Yes.
See. So you sell it, you provide free service or what?
No, it's software, a cloud-based software.
No, it's
that
sold in the market?
It is on the market right now. And people subscribe to it and people use it.
Your husband is the author of this, is it?
We have a team. We have a team of developers, but he's the main brains behind the technology.
And what sort of response did you get from the business community about this project or this what do you call it, whatever.
It's a practice
The tool,
management
yes,
software
yes.
tool, yes. An amazing response.
Yeah.
Because somebody's actually serving the small businessman. Again, I said there's 5 million businesses in the UK, small businesses,
Right.
that are being serviced by small business accountants. And not to have something for those small business accountants is a, you know, it's a travesty, really.
How would you determine this is, I mean, put them in this class, a small business? Is there a particular turnover
Yes.
involved?
Yeah, it's based on the turnover, the number of staff and their assets that they have. They're called SME.
So
Businesses.
5 million is a small business?
Yeah, in the UK.
10 million is big business?
Oh, you mean in terms of turnover?
Yes.
Up to 11.5 million.
Is a small business. Yes.
Yeah.
See, I would like to become a small business.
Come and see me, perhaps I can help you.
Well, I will have to pay a fee first, isn't it? See, this you said that there are 35,000, 50,000, or 500,000 small businesses. You said
5 million.
5 million, right? What is the percentage of women business persons or business entrepreneurs in that? See, any idea?
I think the last
Any
time I read,
percentage?
I think it's about 20%.
20%.
That's what I've read. I think that's increased because I read that about 5-6 years ago. That number has definitely increased because women are the fastest growing business sector in the entire world.
Right. I mean, not just working in factories, but
No.
having a business of their own.
Yeah.
Like back in Bangladesh, this Grameen Bank
Yes.
started lending money to even those the banks would not like to, and there was maybe about 500 taka or 1,000 taka or 5,000 taka, and then without any collateral,
Yeah.
and they produced their own whatever it was, cane products or chicken or eggs, and
Yeah.
then they returned the money.
Yeah.
You see. So that is something great to see. But what sort of business women are involved in this country?
Oh, you know, the most amazing, inventive, creative things that, you know, you wouldn't even think of. Like, for example, there's a client that I have, and she employs women who are grannies, basically over 65, and they make beautiful handmade blankets, cardigans, gloves for newborn babies.
Right.
What a creative way of...
That's a dying
Absolutely.
trait, or that's a dying hobby, isn't
Yes,
it? See?
yeah. And, you know, people like my grandmother and my mother, they were great knitters, but
Yes.
I can't knit
Yes,
at all. So, yes, she's brought together these ladies who are at home, who still want to make a contribution to society. I have a lady who makes beautiful hats, handmade hats. So lots of little inventive things that you wouldn't necessarily think of.
Yep. And they are sold in high street shops.
Yes. Yeah, high street shops sold. You know, now with the advent of internet, they're sold on the
online, yes,
internet,
yes.
on home. So women can work at home while the children are at school, pack up shop at 3:30, and still be a mother. So
Tell me, the idea came. What is the impact of online business and all these tools that you have developed, and everything being available on the tip of your finger and a click away everything? How has it influenced your business of accounting?
you know, the way it's influenced my business is that my clients want the answers now.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter the other day, she ordered a pizza. We saw when those ingredients were being picked, when that was on the pizza, when it was in the oven, and when it was to my house.
Yeah.
People are getting that kind of service faster. They're getting information faster. So the way it's impacted my business is that when my clients drop off their paper bag, they want to know, have I got their papers? When am I going to start work? When am I doing their tax return? And when are they going to get the answer? So the tool that my husband and I've come up with, Onco, it sends out automatic messages at the click of a button to the client to tell them exactly where things are in the process. A bit like their pizza, so they know exactly when the work's being done and when it's going to be delivered to them.
Yeah. And your meter is down, you start counting your
Yes. You start
Hours.
counting your money to pay the tax.
It's a very funny question that came to my mind just now. So do you pay tax?
Do I pay tax? I pay tax.
Because you're arranging tax and you're accounting for the others, you see. But
I pay tax,
yes,
but I pay
you have to.
I pay tax. I pay the minimum amount I can within the confines of the law.
Right. So can really, I mean, I know that the lawyers, the same statutes of law, they are interpreted in different ways.
Yeah.
See, so can you really do that in your business?
Yes, you can, because you know tax is not black and white. Tax is many shades of grey. So just as lawyers have to interpret the law, we have to interpret the tax law. So, you know, for example, it might be a tax deduction for you to have.
It depends on the personal circumstances.
Yes, absolutely. And so yes, tax is not straightforward. It's not black and white. It's shades of grey.
Yep. See, and that is where your expertise and your knowledge comes into,
Yes.
and then they advise the client, and then they have to cough up something up front, and then you give them the advice, and then they don't have to cough up so much for the
Yeah.
HMC.
Yes.
That's a very interesting approach to. You said you were in Bangladesh, you see, and you went to so many places, and you involved yourself in charities and all that. But did you really see at that age, did you really see, probably it was too early, but did you really see many women involved in business?
Not in the 80s. No, I think women in Bangladesh became more involved 90s and later. But definitely the charity that I used to volunteer at, they were the first people to start making the nokshikatas, for which we've become so famous.
Yes. See. But shouldn't we go beyond that, isn't it? See, because Nokshikata has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
It will remain there. See, but we have to diversify. We have got to go that, and we have. See, like we are into ready-made garments, and so many women are involved, working in factories. But then again, this is some A to B to B to C to C to D. See, I mean, they are not really learning something as such, and they are not really contributing something. This is like in the same pigeonhole, and people are producing things on a conveyor belt, and it's being done. But it's good for the government. It's bringing a lot of revenue, but nothing concrete and nothing creative is being done as such. See, but then how to project our own handicrafts? See, if they're produced well, that's okay. I mean, like particularly like a company called Our Own. See, they have gone ahead and they are producing things and they are marketing things, you see. But again, they are not really as successful as one would expect to see. Similarly, like our traditional products like muslin and jamdani, they are not really, you don't see them on high street. You see them in pockets of our own, where we are concentrated, like Tooting or Green Street or other areas, or Wembley, but not like high streets, not like Kensington or Chelsea or even Oxford Street. See.
But it should be, because you know, muslin is an amazing fabric, and the skill that goes into that,
Yep.
I think that perhaps we're not promoting it enough in Bangladesh.
Well, people like you should think of how to promote it, okay?
Okay.
In the meantime, we'll take a break. Thank you for being with us. We are nearly the end of the second segment, and we take this commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll continue with our very interesting discussion with our very distinguished guest today. Thank you. Don't go away. We'll be back soon.